my name is Katie, and I'm on the product marketing team. And so I know I've spoken with a few of you before. I work closely with our customers to get feedback on the products and then translate that into our product managers to make sure that we're developing the products that really meet the needs of what you're looking for. My colleague John is here as well, and he worked really closely with the product team to develop the tool. So John, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey folks, myself and Katie work closely together on the product marketing team, and she's put it quite succinctly. We talk to you guys and we translate it into the product managers, who then translate it into the engineers. And hopefully, if that synergy is all going well, we give you guys a really great product that you can use day to day. The schedule was something I worked on closely. So if you guys have questions or even feedback, we would love to hear it, and we can give it to the right people and make sure we are, as Katie said, building the right products and going forward. And today, when we run through it, I'll show you what we have and then give you a little sneak preview of things that we're building and should be out in Q1, Q2 of next year. And I think I hope a lot of you will have kind of noticed that we are continuously iterating, continuously building on your feedback. So, big thanks to you guys. Everything that, you say to us, we try and implement within reason. So, looking forward to today.
Okay, awesome. So before we start, you'll see on the right, there's a chat panel and a Q&A panel. So if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A tab and we'll answer them. And then any other comments, feel free to add into chat. But I did want to just get started with a quick poll before we go into the demo. So you should see the poll come up here. How often are you using the schedule tool? Never? You've never even seen it? You didn't know we had it? A few times a month? So maybe you've tried it out, you've used it on a few projects, or regularly/often. So let's see if we get some of those answers here. Does everyone see the poll?
Yeah, okay. I certainly did.
Right. Now we're seeing some replies in. So it looks like the majority of people have never used it. So that's great. Some people have used it a few times a month and some people who are using it often. So that's that'll be really helpful, I think, as we're going through. We can show those of you who have never used it how to use it easily.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So John, you want to get started?
Yeah, I'll share my screen here.
Okay.
Great. You guys can see my screen here, yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, first and foremost, this is, obviously a deep dive on the schedule, but for many of you, this might be the first time you're seeing it, or for others, you've had a couple of days to get involved with it. You can see the rebrand, the Houzz Pro rebrand. So we used to have, as you can see, things across the top, our search bars and our chill bars across the top. We've now moved that down to the left-hand navigation. And, there's a couple of quick ads, and you can see all of your projects up here color-coded. So this is what we've been working on pretty heavily there for the last quarter or so. The whole idea behind the rebrand is kind of twofold. Ease of navigation. So we're hoping that it's intuitive, it's easy to find your way around and get to where you guys want to go. And then for the second part of that, what we're going to be aiming to do is further integrating our tools like the schedule, which we're about to deep dive into, with tasks, with estimating, things like that. So really hope you guys enjoy the rebrand and would love any feedback you have on that as well. So hopefully this isn't the first time you're seeing it, or if it is the first time you're seeing it, I hope you like it at first glance. But I think main thing to call out is the search bar. Everything is still here. All of the features still work the same for now. Just a little bit of getting used to. So hopefully you'll be able to navigate your way around that fairly easily. Before I jump directly into the schedule, what I'm going to call out to you guys as well, and this pertains to the schedule, is how to set up your team members, your subcontractors, and your clients on your Houzz Pro account. This will, I suppose, make things pretty easy when you're adding tasks or assigning items to people. So if you go to your company and you'll have your collaborators here, you've got your team members, clients, subcontractors, and vendors. If we just go into team members, pretty quickly, if you've got somebody in the office that you work with, guys out on site, or, whoever that might be, you can quickly add all of those people into your account, and definitely encourage you to do that. From a project management standpoint, I suppose one of the beauties of Houzz is that it's quite collaborative. And the more people on your team who you have in the system, obviously, the easier it is for you guys to communicate on projects and really be on the same page on where everything is. So it's fairly straightforward. Invite team member, you stick in an email here. You can select the role. So admin, field crew, finance, all of this will be customizable then at a later stage. And you can multi-add team members as well. So you can just keep typing in team members there, invite, and there you go. Oh, I've already added myself, but that's adding a team member to your account. And as I said, and I'll show you on the schedule, you can then assign them really quickly to items, tasks, things like that. So I would encourage everybody to add team members in. You've got your clients as well. So you'll have to set up the clients as you set up projects, or it's definitely beneficial to do so. And then subcontractors, again, what you can do is multi-add your subcontractors into your Houzz Pro account. And what you'll be able to do is assign them tasks really quickly, or just have their details to hand when you are doing projects. I see Aubrey, hopefully it's a little bit easier to see there. I've zoomed in. Yeah, so sorry, the point of all of that was I would encourage you to add in as much people who you work with to this collaborators account. There's a little bit of legwork in getting it set up initially, but once you do, the rest of your project management becomes quite easy. So I'll show you how that's applicable now. So let's dive into the schedule. So from your project, I'm in Rensbury here. All of your information will load up. And I've just created this, so there's no real information in it. You click into your schedule. Hopefully it'll load up for me. There we go. So what you're going to see here is basically the blank canvas. And what you can do is we have some templates for you guys to have a crack at yourselves. By clicking one of the templates, let's do the residential new build. What that's going to do is just give you guys a feel for what exactly is available. So you can see here, it's a 6-month build, and you can see all of the phases, then items, and once you get into the items, you'll be able to set up your tasks. So if you're starting from the templates, what you have down here is your start date. So if we wanted to start this on the 18th of December, let's say, or whenever that might be. And here's where it's really handy. So particularly if you're dealing with it at a lead stage and you want to send over a schedule of works prior to the job starting, this is a really good thing to send to prospective clients to say, here's what I've done an estimate on. Here's how long I think it's going to take. And here's the breakdown of it. And if you can think of, a client or a prospective client receiving such a detailed breakdown in what they're going to receive versus someone sending them an email saying, here's $100,000 quote, we can start in January. Like, the more detail you can give and the more open and honest communication, particularly in that initial stages, you're going to impress the client a good deal more than anybody else. That's certainly one massive benefit of it. Another one is you'll be able to see, at a glance, what capacity you and your team have on any given time frame. So once you're ready to start, we just hit the start date, December 18th. Unlikely any of us would be starting so close to the new year, but let's theoretically go for that. And then what you've got here is your Gantt view of your job. This is one view that we have. Another view is the calendar view. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then we've got the list view. So this is just kind of, it depends on what you guys are comfortable with working with and how you wanted to kind of see the job broken down. I'm personally, I like the Gantt view, but again, that's totally up to you guys on how you wanted to use it. I'm going to go back to the Gantt view. So this is the schedule in all of its glory. What you can do then, if you wanted to, over here on the left-hand drop-down, you've got, say, your groundworks. What you can do is rename your whatever it is that you've got here, or you can jump directly to the item on the canvas itself. If we wanted to add into, let's say, preliminaries here, you can do so by just clicking on the canvas. And let's we got site setup, and let's put in plans and permissions. So again, just by clicking on the canvas, that's going to add another one to the canvas itself. Let's put signage in here, whatever it is. So again, totally up to you and totally, bespoke to how you guys want to work. Simply clicking and dragging the icons will determine how many days it is. And by determining how long the days are, you then determine the phase. So you can see the preliminaries here last from the 18th of December to the 28th of December, determined by how long the items that make that up is. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody.
John, do you mind just showing one more time how you got to the schedule? Sure.
So from your projects, I was in, so you choose any one of the projects. Rensbury is the one that I've been working on. And it's in this left-hand column here. We've got it in our schedule, the management portion of the project dashboard. So this is how you get to, say, an individual schedule. And what I'm going to show you in a few minutes is how you get to the schedule overview. That's where you can kind of see all of your projects overlaid against one another. So that's a really handy tool. So I'll jump back in. So that's quickly how you get it set up. Now, if I was to have started that from scratch, you just click on the canvas and you'll start adding things to, say, preliminaries, whatever it is, and then you can rename, delete, rename. So if I wanted to rename preliminaries to whatever it is you wanted, you certainly can do that here. So it's very much adjust to suit yourselves. You can add then phases in here and just continue to add into the phases on the left-hand drop-down. If you need more room to work with, you can certainly collapse this, and then you've got just more canvas to work with. So I know a lot of people want to do that. So for the items themselves, what I probably should have reiterated as well at the start was we're set up in kind of 3 tiers to mimic how the typical project workflow goes. So it's phase, item, and task. So your phase, I'll go down to, say, block work here, or framing, let's say. So it's your phase is framing. Your item here is level 1 timber subfloor. And then the tasks we can start building out when we get into this. And so by clicking on the item, either on the canvas, or you can do it in the left-hand rail as well, it'll open up this window here. And here's where you can kind of give more, I suppose, flesh the item out a little bit more and give it a bit more depth. So unassigned, everything is going to be unassigned unless there is, unless through the template you've already assigned it to someone. So if you hit unassigned, you'll get this drop down here. And this is what I was referring to when we started. If you've added in team members or clients or subcontractors, you can start assigning phases to those stakeholders, which is a really positive thing. So you got to say Rosefield here, and then your clients and subcontractors, you can add then at a project level. So if you had a subcontractor as well, you can add them to it. They'll get notified that you've invited them in to collaborate on this project, and they'll say, okay, framing starts on the 21st of January. Am I available to work for Jonathan? Yeah, I am. Or they can get in touch with you. No, I'm not. So what the schedule does as well, it just adds like a really clear level of communication. You know, I worked in the trades myself, and I worked as a builder. One of the biggest issues we faced was corralling subcontractors and getting a response from them. This isn't going to solve that problem, but it goes a long way to helping just, you know, really reiterate to those guys, I need you guys on site on the 21st. You know, are you available? And gives them an option to say, yes, I am available, or no, I'm on another job, whatever it might be. So it's just another layer of being able to communicate with the stakeholders on a project. Or if we needed sign off from the client, you can put it in as default client, whoever you've set that up on, and they'll get notified, the clients, and then you can send it to the client dashboard. Clients tend to be a little bit more responsive, but again, it's just avoiding things slipping through the cracks. If something is imperative that you need client sign off on, this is another level that you can really hammer home. You know, guys, please just hit the DocuSign, open your emails. We need this to go ahead today. Otherwise, the framers won't be able to come on site. So just another level of being able to communicate with those guys. You can obviously chop and change the dates here and give it a description, so you can put in as much information as you want here. You know, what materials are being used, what guys are due to be on site, whatever that might be. And dependencies. So what you can do as well, you can do it either from the canvas, is drag and drop. So say the framing level 1, the subfloor the timber framing cannot start until the subflooring is complete. So you can put in whatever level of dependencies here. And if you have got them set up in such a way that what will happen is, if there's a project delay, say, for example, there's a rain delay and the concrete isn't poured, or whatever the case might be, if there's a delay, by moving this item, then all the items that are dependent on it are affected. And again, that level of communication, if you've invited subcontractors in, or if you've assigned someone on your team to those items, they'll have visibility to see, okay, that's been pushed back for whatever reason. Maybe I should give him John a call and, you know, see what's happening on site. Does he expect me in on the 21st, or is it now the 24th? So again, just a really, you know, an additional layer of information there. And then what you can do here is start assigning tasks. So the tasks will be associated with the item. And I suppose that's the next level down. So let's say level 1, timber framing. The task here might be confirm delivery of timber. You can pop that in there, and then what you do is just check you can assign it to yourself, to any of them there, and again, I'm going to assign that to myself. And then the due date, so that's due to start on the 20th of January. What you can do is put it in there for the 9th of January, Tuesday the 9th of January. The subfloor framing is going to start. We need to confirm delivery. Ring suppliers. So what that'll do is it'll set me a task, and then on the 9th of January, I'm going to get an email notification from my Houzz account to say timber framing is due on the 24th of January. You need to ring the suppliers and make sure the delivery is coming in on the 19th. So I have a head like a sieve, and I would forget most things unless I'm getting notified, if my Google Calendar isn't pinging me or whatever. It's just, again, one of those things, particularly if this has been set up and it is a 6-month build. And, midway through, you've already set yourself reminders. Is this happening? Is that happening? And you can go through it and just be fairly confident that you've boxed everything off, or has gone as long a way as possible as making sure that you've got things boxed off.
John, we have a few questions here.
Yeah.
So, question from Jenny: if you add subs, do they have to download and use the app, and is there a fee for that?
Great question. So, no. What we're going to be doing, I don't know, Denny, if you're familiar with the client dashboard. So in the next, by the end of January, we're going to release a subcontractor invite flow. So if you invite those subs in, they'll get a link to say, John's invited you to Rensbury, just have a look at it. There's no charge for that. And I think in our research, one of the big barriers for subcontractors is that many people are using different systems, so they don't really want to have to download Houzz Pro, download whatever other systems that other contractors are using. So this would be very much, it's a link. They can click the link. They'll be given the information that you've sent them. They don't have to download anything. They don't have to create a Houzz Pro account. There will be no charge. So that's, I suppose, we're really trying to make it as frictionless as possible for you to communicate information with them. And if you invite them to a schedule, for example, they will be able to respond and say, yes, available, no, not available, whatever that might be.
Awesome. Okay. And then a question from Victoria: can you add the clients to each tab so they can also see the timeline? Yes,
absolutely. So you can, the roof framing, again, not a great example, but you see unassigned, and then you got your clients here. So this says default client, which is the client of this project. I obviously haven't filled it in properly, but if you fill in your client information properly, it will turn up here, Katie, for example, whatever it might be. And then that's assigned. You can assign them at an individual item level, or what you can do is share. So again, you can hit this button up on the top here, share. You can share it to your client dashboard, and you can see here that there's no access given. So again, you might want to be, chopping and changing and, until it's set. Once you give the client access, that will go onto their client dashboard, and they'll be able to see exactly what it is that you've proposed, and we'll get all of the notifications to say that they've been tagged, that there's a reminder set for them, whatever it might be. So again, what I always kind of say, my sister has actually just gotten a big reno done on her house, and she was saying that she was like a peeping Tom out in the bushes. She was always down badgering the builders, and I can understand how frustrating that is from the builder's point of view. If you can show the progress that's happening, and you can kind of show something like this, it gives your clients a little bit more peace of mind that something's happening on my dream home. And that's everybody here is probably in the same boat, that they know that it's their client's dream home, whereas it's, for us, it's just everyday work. For them, it's it's their sweat, blood and tears. So if you can communicate with them, show them what's happening, it's just going a long way to keep them off your back, and keeps everybody happy, I think.
Awesome. Okay, thanks. Oh, one more question we can throw in here. When you invite someone to a schedule, are the updates then live? And does someone get a notification if there's been an update?
They'll get, if they're signed, they'll be notified. So if like obviously my carpenter doesn't need to know if the painter is delayed, or you know, whatever it might be. So if they're assigned to a task and the task gets moved around, they'll be notified. If they're not assigned, or if it doesn't pertain to them necessarily, there's no need for the electrician to think, you know, that the roofer fell off the roof or whatever it is. Yeah, if they're assigned to it, they'll be updated.
Okay, and you're probably getting to this, but can you also add some dependencies and show people how to do that?
Yeah. So I did add the dependencies here for the framing. So you can see here that everything is kind of linked up together, and you can move them as one item. And what you can do then is, say, the electrical rough-in can't happen. So you can drag it. So there's this thing here, you can either drag it, and by touching it to the next item, it will go to that. Or what you can do is by clicking the item here, you'll see the dependencies here. It ends before plumbing and starts after. You'll see begins after, sorry, whatever it is, you can drag it down here. So that's the dependencies. It's pretty straightforward. Our big request that we've gotten since launching this is multiple dependencies, which is not there at the moment, but it is something that we'll be building in pretty quickly. So electrical, say plumbing can't start before electrical and before roof tiling finishes, whatever that is. So you can add multiple dependencies, and that was a big request we're getting. So definitely something that we're looking to build in.
Great, thanks.
No worries. Then I suppose what you can see then, I showed you already, but like is the calendar view, and in the calendar view you'll see any tasks that are set up for your team or for the subcontractors. So here's my confirmed delivery. It just looks a little bit different, but that is actually associated with this task here, level 1 timber subfloor, and then you've got your confirmed delivery. So on the 9th, I'll get a notification to say I need to ring up the timber supply company and confirm delivery for Thursday the 18th, because when we arrive on site on the 19th, we want to just get going. And then the same is very true for the list view.
One follow-up. Can you add a dependency in the list view?
Yeah. So rename delete. Definitely should be able to. Yeah. So here we are. Yeah. So you just, by clicking the line item here, you can start adding your dependencies. So groundwork, site setup, excavation can't start until the site setup is finished. Ends before, what did I say? Excavation. It's done in. There we go. So that'll create that dependency there. So it's not as straightforward as like dragging and dropping it, but if it will all just be in the dependency list. And then if you move it here, so if I put this 29th to put it to the 30th, it should move then everything else. And that's moved to the 31st to the 3rd.
Awesome, thank you.
And then you can obviously assign people here and then start marking them off as completed. So as you're going, it helps to just mark things off as complete, and you'll see that reflected as well on the stages. And then you'll get, as I said, the client will start seeing the progress that's being made, and hopefully make their lives a little bit less frantic.
And if you share information with the subcontractors, how much information are they seeing?
So they'll see the schedule as it currently is. So what we're looking to do as well with that subcontractor dashboard, because subcontractors typically don't tend to care. Again, what happens before their time and what happens after their time. So with the subcontractor dashboard, when that comes in the next 4 to 6 weeks, they'll get, you'll be given the option to show them, here's my framing. I want to send that to my carpenters or my framers. The 21st, that's when you're due on site. Here's all the tasks that go along with it. Here's all the documentation that goes with it. And so you can share either with them that tiny, bit that pertains to them, or you can share the wider schedule as well if you like.
Great. And they won't have access to all your financials and estimates specific to the project. No.
So it's just the schedule, or you can choose to share daily logs with them, or you can share the schedule. But no, it's very much they just get access to that one project that you shared with them. No financials, nothing to do with the estimating or anything like that.
Great. And then one more question. When you send an email or a text to subs, do you get any notification or confirmation if they read it or receive it?
No, it's something that has been requested. Like, you can see that with like email marketing tools and stuff like that. So at the moment, no, but it's definitely something that has been requested. Like, that has been clicked and that they've received it. But at the moment, no, it's not something that's built into the system.
Okay.
So that's kind of like so that's just like at a project level, the schedule. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly go back out to your landing page, and at a glance, what you'll have down here is you'll see everything that's coming up this week. So anybody who signs up from your team as well will have this, and they can see what's happening in your company this week, and you can see call Carl to pick up from the store, whatever it might be. And so you've got all that there. Something that I didn't mention yet, but I'll do it now. The Houzz Pro app, the schedule is very much compatible with that, and you're on the go. So you get on site and you can see exactly what's happening. You can click into your projects. You can make sure that everybody's where they're supposed to be or where they're saying they are. So if you download the Houzz Pro app, the schedule feature works perfectly with the app, and it's obviously a very good feature. And then you can start to take things like photos, upload those to the daily logs, and just keep a log of what's happening on site. So yeah, I think definitely recommend, if you guys haven't got it already, is the Houzz Pro app. So the search icon up here is kind of give you where you're going to find the schedule overview, among other things. You can obviously, any keyword you search there should bring that up. And the schedule overview will give you a bird's eye view of everything that's happening in your company this month, next month, the following month, whatever it is. So you can see here, okay, here I am on the 12th of December. I've got excavation happening in Fairways. So this project here, Fairways, but I also have plumbing going on in Modern Kitchen. Okay, where are my guys? Where is my team? And this will give you a really good indication of your capacity as a one-man band, or if you've got 3 teams working underneath you, it'll give you a really good indication of your capacity. And what you can see here, and what I've heard back from clients, is that intuitively they're kind of trusting their gut, and they know at the end of January how kind of things are finishing up or things are getting a little bit quiet. With this schedule overview, you can see, okay, we've got 3 jobs all finishing at the end of January, or at the end of February, at the end of March. We've got a lot of capacity there. So you can then go and jump back into your leads if you're using the marketing tool, and really try and source some, get back out there and fill the pipeline for a March start date. So again, when you're using this in its entirety and really, utilizing it as much as you can, it gives great visibility for when you might be either underbooked and you can put your pedal to the metal and get more people in and kind of go out and site visits. Or maybe you've got a lead in and they're saying, I want to start on the March the 1st. And by quickly looking at your schedule overview, you can say, you know what, we're actually in the middle of 4 jobs. My guys are stretched thin. And again, that communication to that person who might want to start on March 1st, you say, you know what, why don't we, have you got any room there to push it out 2 weeks? Because 2 projects are ending. I will be able to give you the service that you want, deserve, and will be able at a much better capacity to service you guys. So definitely the schedule overview helps a lot. Again, something that we're, is coming in very quickly is being able to get scheduling conflicts. So if you assign a team, if you set up a team or your own team members, you will be able to say, okay, I need to put in Katie on the 16th of January, and I'll get a notification to say Katie's actually already booked on another job. Does this matter? And you can either choose to make an adjustment or ignore it. Maybe it doesn't matter too much. But that is the schedule overview, and I think it's a great feature. So.
Yeah. One question here. Are there any plans to make the tasks viewable on the schedule overview?
Yeah, they should be viewable. So when you click into the projects themselves, the tasks will come up. It's a good point. We will definitely be looking to bring that in. So yeah, we will be bringing in the tasks for the schedule overview. Another thing, what we're looking to do is break it down into like phases. So instead of the items, you might be able to see the phases. So just a kind of another tweak on it. But so tasks are not currently available, but they will be in the future.
Okay, awesome. One other question on tasks. Do they show on the Gantt view or only the calendar or list view?
Yeah, they show on the Gantt view, yeah.
Okay.
Here. And one thing I forgot to show you, which I will show you now.
One other question while we're waiting for this to load from Allison. If you assign an item to clients, do they get any email or notification about it?
Yeah, so they will be notified on it. So if you set them up on the items, and then you can share it to their client dashboard, and they'll be able to see everything. They'll be able to see what you've assigned to them as well. So it works in tandem with the client dashboard. But yes, they will be notified.
Awesome.
Schedule. There we go. What I wanted to show you was, and people are looking for it, is to save as a template. So again, this is, you can choose from what we've given you guys, and it's a really good kind of stepping stone, but you can manage that, delete things, add things, save it as your own. And then what you can do then is save it as a template, and you just, name it Jonathan's template, whatever it is, and you can choose then to save phases, items, and dependencies. So maybe dependencies is very bespoke on a per project level. You can create that and it will just bring through all the phases and items, or you can save the dependencies, whatever it is. Then when you're ready to start your next project, you'll have that up there on the top of your screen up here, template house 1 or whatever that is. You can apply it, set the date, and you're ready to go straight away. Then again, you can then export this as. So a lot of people want to print these, bring them to site, send them out. So export as PNG. We'll just export it as 1. See? And what you'll do is you'll get your, let me see here now. Oh, I can't share. So, oh, sorry. I'm not sharing my screen. So what that'll do is it'll just send you a PNG of the whole Gantt. Again, you can print that out, put it up on site, whatever it is that you want with that. Why can't I share this? Probably something to do with the big marker. But I have a PDF there with the whole Gantt built out, and you can share it with, or you can bring it to site and print it out. So definitely something that people have requested.
Awesome. Yes, we did have one question about that.
And that's all there is really to the scheduling tool. I suppose you can use it as in-depth as you like, or not so much, but definitely I think it's a really good way to plan for what's coming up in your own company. Just being able to see what your capacity is, and then being able to, act as a tool for communicating to all of the stakeholders involved in the contract, in the project, be they clients, subcontractors, or your own team.
That's awesome. I'm just looking here to see if there were any other questions. One question from Allison. She was saying when you add a new item, it doesn't automatically add to the end of the phase. It adds to the beginning. And she was wondering if there is explanation for that.
So if I put it here, like, does that, I don't know what.
There it does at the end.
You can drag it up and out to whoever you want. So I don't know. So if you click on the canvas, it adds wherever you've clicked. I suppose. Oh, sorry. Maybe if you're adding it from here. Yeah, it adds the start of the phase. That should go to the end of the phase. I'll create a bug on that. I'll create a ticket on that. But yeah, if you're adding from the canvas, just wherever you click on the canvas is where that phase is going to start. So click it here. It'll start over on the 4th.
Awesome. And do you mind showing one more time where to access the templates? John is in a builder account. So if you're a designer, you'll see templates that are specific to designers.
Yeah. So the templates will come up when you start a new project. You see here. Taking forever. My internet's acting up, guys. Sorry. But so when you start a new project, what will happen is you'll see the templates will be at the top of the screen there. And you'll just be able to select from whatever template you've chosen. Here we go. So they'll come up here and you'll see them here. So these are the ones that we have, but you can start from scratch, kitchen remodel, and then you'll see manage templates here. And this is where you'll be able to go in and rename your own templates, create new ones, whatever it might be. So you'll be able to just go in and manage them from here. Does that make sense?
Awesome. Yeah. Great. I think that covers. If there are any other open questions in the chat, we can always follow up afterwards. Yeah. One question, actually, this is a good one from Jason. Can you show how you can create a schedule in the lead stage?
So you've got to create a project. So if you're doing it from the lead stage, it will become a project. So it comes into the projects here. So unfortunately, there's no ability to create a schedule from that lead stage. You've got to create a project from it. So something I can bring back to the team and say, because as I said in the beginning, it's really something nice to be able to send with an estimate, with a proposal, with, you know, whatever it is else you've done, mood boards or whatever takeoffs that might be done. Could be good to send over a schedule with that.
Awesome. Okay, great. And then before we leave, we have one more poll I wanted to throw out. This is the first of these deep dive webinars that we're doing, but we want to keep going. This was all really great feedback and questions. So we would love to hear from you what other feature or tool you would like us to focus on over the next few months for additional webinars. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining. I hope this was helpful to you, and feel free to reach out if you have any other questions, and I hope you enjoy the holidays.